Hello everybody, Cam Sweet here from the Garage Connection, coming to you today with another Chinese mini excavator. One of those ideas I wish I had thought of. Well, I did think of it, but you know what I mean. So what we're going to talk about today is something that you can add on to your machine, hopefully to safeguard your track drive motors, prevent any unwanted bending of that area, which I'm going to show you the worst case scenario of that. And also it's an extremely convenient place to tie down your machine from the back. So stay tuned. Okay, so the idea behind this is, obviously we got the track drive motors here. This happens to be an FF12, but it really doesn't matter. Now, you can kind of see when you're moving, if you decide to go backwards, there's not a lot protecting these motors. I mean, yes, the mounting flanges are pretty thick, and the motor housing itself is fairly thick too. But they are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's not anything to protect them. And if stuff gets in here, there's a good chance it's going to snag your hydraulic lines. So I said, okay, we got to do something for that because, you know, this is a problem that's going to plague these machines. So what I came up with is, this is a guard that goes back here, okay? We got some 3/8 steel plates. These have all been plasma cut out. I got a gentleman local to me that's been doing it for me. And then this is a piece of heavy wall tubing, 3/16 or 1/4 inch, whatever it may be. And all it does is it basically gets sandwiched between the two. This one isn't even welded, it still wiggles around in there. But it gets sandwiched in between the two. And now you can see if you're backing up and something, a stump, a rock, whatever, you're gonna hit this first instead of hitting your very expensive drive motors, okay? Now, the other thing that I like about this is it's a fantastic place to throw a ratchet strap around and tie the machine down. They tell you not to go off your motor housings, but you definitely can go off of this. Conveniently enough, with most of the machines that I have found, these mounting bolts are more than long enough to get you through this steel plate and securely mount this whole setup. And people have told me if you go ahead and throw a little steel tab here, you can actually hook up like a garden trailer to this and tow it behind your machine as you're digging, potentially even dump into it. You can see, obviously these motors are held on by bolts. And then we come over here to the FF12. These are held on by Allen screws. Both of these configurations are going to be just fine for you. The only thing I will say, some of these machines I've noticed that there's a stud on each of these bolt holes instead of a bolt. So if you have the style that has a stud, what I recommend is you do not weld the kit together, okay? You keep the kit unwelded. You're still going to get the impact protection. You'll still get a degree of protection from flexing in, but it's going to allow you to remove these motors if you ever need to go ahead and replace one. Now, some of you that have some of the higher end models of this machine where the track width is actually adjustable, okay, there's like a ram in there and this whole thing slides in and out. If you have this style of motor, this kit still can work for you, okay? But what you're gonna need to do, this is 1.5" square tubing, 1.5" OD. So what you're gonna need to do is get a piece of like 2-inch quarter wall, and you're gonna have to basically put it over this piece. So you'd put the piece in there, you'd weld each end where you want it, you cut it in half in the center, and then you would put the sleeve over the top of it. So that way, as the track width goes in and out, it's simply just going to slide in and out on this tube. And you'll still have the protection from any impacts, and you'll have a degree of protection also from the bending of the mounting points. All right, so let's talk about what you're going to get. What we're going to do is we're going to ship you a 24-inch long piece of this heavy wall tubing, okay? And we're also going to get you 2 of these brackets. Now, these brackets, obviously, you can see where the mounting holes are, and the square tube will simply slip inside there. And then you can go ahead and cut this appropriately to fit your machine. Because there's so much difference in the widths between these machines, it may not look like it, but there is. I'm hesitant to cut a bunch of them and then all of a sudden it's too big to fit in somebody's machine. I don't want to do that to you. So if you're looking for a kit like this, I sell them on the website. It's centraldiggersupply.com. It was a nice, little small business I started up just to help people out, to get you solutions to problems like this. we can paint it for you, we can powder coat it for you, I can weld it for you if you don't have access to a welder. All I need is the dimensions, and we'll go ahead and get that out to you right away. And hopefully this is something that you think is worthwhile and you want to make the investment. And there's for sale now. I'm running a little short on brackets, but my guy says he's going to take care of me, so we should be able to facilitate any order you make within a week and a half, 2 weeks at the latest. So let me know, centraldiggersupply.com. For now, Cam Sweet here with the Garage Connection, and stay on those projects.